When you think about Lexus, this may not be the kind of thing that comes to mind first, but it does have an honest-to-goodness, legitimate place on the Lexus family tree. The RC stands for Radical Coupe. It's really just the two-door version of the Lexus IS sedan. Then there's the RCF, and of course F is Lexus's performance letter, analogous to M for BMW. And then there's this, which is the Lexus RCF Track Edition. So very obviously something special, something driver-oriented, something really sporty. Now, it is not my job to sell you a car. It's my job to tell you what it's like to live with a car, the good, the bad, the ugly, the honest opinion. In this case, it is my professional and honest opinion that if I had the cash, I would jump on this. I'm also going to share its flaws, so let's dive in. A lot of this thing's looks are just classic, timeless sports car elements that really give it a great style. The one thing that I would say that calls it out is not recently updated is that this is very clearly not the latest iteration of the Lexus grille. And you can tell when you look at the Lexus website with all the other vehicles in the lineup, this is not the most modern look. It's not bad though. So a few things I want to point out up here. We've got the triple beam LED headlights. That's an option. They do all have LED headlights and taillights though. And then what makes this the Track Edition is largely all the carbon fiber. So we've got a carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber splitter down here, lots more carbon fiber on the side. Over here, we've got carbon fiber roof, carbon fiber lower rocker panel down here. Now you can see from the side a bit of that classic race car that I'm talking about, just the shape and the proportions. We can also tell the clearance is higher here above the wheel than it is back here. So it's got a bit of a squat, which is really kind of cool looking. These are the 19-inch forged alloy, super lightweight wheels by BBS, which I think they look great. They're very cool. Probably very expensive. We also have the Brembo carbon ceramic brakes, obviously with the red brake calipers. And let me tell you, these are not made for going slow. They're not happy about it. When I spent an hour in bumper to bumper traffic in this thing, they were making a lot of noise. Now let's check out the back. I really like this sort of wide stance that it's got at the back. I think it looks really nice, really racy. We've got the carbon fiber rear diffuser here, titanium muffler with quad exhaust tips, and I like how they're staggered. I think that really contributes to the styling back here. Obviously, the carbon fiber wing, which is what's gonna kind of let everybody know this is a bit of a cool car. What I really like here is it's got an F in the weave of the carbon fiber. That's very Lexus. It's nice, it's elegant, and it's not in your face, but it's cool. The interior is a little dated. This is a bit of an older platform, but in some ways that's a good thing because it means that you can get a new old car. And for some people, that's kind of ideal. If you don't need a lot of flashy sort of whiz-bang gadgetry, or if you want to avoid some of the bloat that we're getting with modern day cars, this can be kind of, again, an ideal situation. I really don't hate it. It's serviceable. It's got everything I need, including some things I don't need, like a CD player. The Alcantara, I've said before and will probably say again that I really don't like it, especially on high touch areas like the steering wheel and the gear shifter. I haven't hated it as much as I thought I would in this car. Even though it's summer, even though I'm often sweaty, you know, my hands might be sweaty, I thought I would be more worried about how this would feel. It's actually been fine. I really like the blue interior in here, this blue carbon fiber. So we've got blue highlights here on the seats and then blue carbon fiber on the dash. I feel like interior carbon fiber can look kind of tacky sometimes, but I really like this treatment. I like that it's got this glossy surface. I like that it's a nice tight and regular weave, and I really like how the blue is integrated. I think it just looks awesome. And you can see that the seats have a fair portion of Alcantara here too. It's been oddly cozy even in this hot summer. So again, not hating it like I thought I would. I really like the F embossed headrest. That's just a cool touch. And these are actually surprisingly comfortable. Often with these sort of heavily contoured and heavily bolstered sport type of seats, I tend to feel like they were designed for someone taller than I am and that they just don't curve in the right places. But this actually is pretty ideal for me. I took this on a rather long drive over the weekend and it was fine. I like where the bolstering fits. Pretty darn comfortable. The back seats though are another story, so let's check that out. Now this seat is still in my driving position, so we're gonna see how the car has a couple of features that make it, quote, easier to access the back seat. For one thing, there's this cool little seatbelt holder on the side. It's just a strap and it's got a magnetic closure, which is nice, makes it easy to operate. It has a nice satisfying click. I have found it a little overeager to give up when I'm trying to pull on the seatbelt from my seating position all the way up here. Then we've got this convenient little handle. I just pull that and the seat starts moving itself out of the way. It's gonna get all the way up there, and we'll see that once I'm back here, it's gonna remember my seating position. So not a problem for the driver that I've moved this seat out of the way. That's fine. This is behind me, not the tallest person. There it goes. Got a little more room because I like to sit up high and see over the hood. So these are really more for insurance purposes, I think, than to be true back seats. You know, you could fit a small dog, you could easily put a purse or some bags back here. However, I will say that I don't love having the windshield directly behind my head, so I still feel like a 4-seater is worth it, even if you're not fitting any tall people back here for any length of time. We were really seeing the benefit of the sedan platform is in the trunk, which is much more spacious than I expected it to be. It says it's 10.1 cubic feet of cargo volume, which is not an impressive number, but I fit everything I needed for a weekend in there. 2 duffel bags, a cooler, way more stuff, all the extra bags of things that I realized one after another I also wanted to bring. Everything fit in there, no problem. The RCF gets a 472 horsepower 5-liter V8, so that's American muscle car territory in terms of engine size. It's the same motor that they put in the Lexus IS, the LC500, so obviously different states of tune for different vehicles. It sounds awesome. It's naturally aspirated, so we're not getting the sound of a turbocharger or a supercharger, but it does make a really cool induction noise and you can hear it from the cabin. And then it looks really cool under the hood too. In spite of all the plastic, you still see the blue metal of the manifold peeking through. It just looks awesome. So it can do 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. Listen to that. It sounds so good. That was accelerating onto the highway, and that's one of the rare moments where I get to feel like I'm really using this engine a little bit. I do think the Track Edition is very aptly named because that's probably where you're gonna need to be to really push this vehicle. It's just so confident in handling, it's so planted and stable. It's really tough to get silly with it out on public roads because it's just so capable. So I wish that I had more time with it. I wish that I could show you what it's like on a track, but alas. It's rear-wheel drive, of course, and it's got an 8-speed automatic transmission, so unfortunately automatic only, no manual option. We do have the paddle shifters mounted on the steering wheel, but I found that it can be rather slow to respond to input from those shifters, maybe slowest of any vehicle that I've driven to date. So I did have to take that into account while driving. You know, I'd have to think to myself, okay, I'm gonna shift when I hit 6,000 RPM because I know it's gonna take a second to respond. I will say when you have it in automatic mode, you're less aware of those delayed shifts because you don't know exactly when the car is making the decision. So there's not that sense of, I made a choice, it's not doing what I want it to do. Some of that is its luxury coupe nature, you know, at its foundation, that is what it's based on. And that plays out in some positive ways as well. For example, this is a much better ride than I was expecting from a car like this. It's much more comfortable, handles bumps well. It does have the F-adaptive variable suspension, and you can play with it a little bit in the custom drive mode setting. What you can't play with and what I really wanted was an exhaust mode setting. You know, like the Mustang, for example, has track exhaust mode where it gets louder. I really, really wanted something like this because this is such a great sounding engine. Instead, I spent a fair amount of time with the windows down and loitering under bridges to really get to hear it. Visibility over my right shoulder is not great. The pillar's in the way and so is the headrest of the passenger pretty much all the time. Doesn't matter how far up or far back, there's not a lot of room to maneuver in here anyway. Steering is great, it's direct, it's responsive, but it's not twitchy, not overly responsive, so I really appreciate that. And then it's a much quieter ride than you would think. You're really not getting a lot of road noise. Pretty nice. An 8-inch touchscreen display is standard, but this particular vehicle has the premium audio package. So in addition to the Mark Levinson sound system, that also gives us a 10.3-inch screen. We also get dynamic voice command. It's a subscription service though. And nav, which again is a subscription service, but it comes with a 3-year trial. I really hate this touchpad down here. We haven't seen this in a lot of Lexuses recently, but again, this is a bit of a dated platform. You would be shocked at how long it took me to figure out that the menu button is really my only option for home. There isn't anything up here on the screen. So when I first got in, I plugged in my phone. I knew I was connected to CarPlay because A, it's wired, so you kind of know, and B, the way that Google Maps was showing up on my phone with just the turn-by-turn directions, I knew CarPlay was running somewhere. Could not figure out how to get to it. It's connected right now and I still can't see it. I would have to press menu and then use this super finicky little thingy to navigate to it. That way, here it is. So that's a little annoying, not the best UI. This Lexus multimedia system is not the most modern, but you know what? It's not really what we're getting this car for. It's a little bit tough to imagine who exactly is going to be buying this car. I mean, the track edition of a GT car is a little bit oxymoronic, but obviously not unheard of. For example, there's the BMW M3 and BMW M4 competition. Those are faster to 60, they're a bit more powerful than this, they're definitely more modern, and the ZF transmission is arguably better, but they weigh about the same as this, and they're priced similarly, and all of those are automatic only, unfortunately. The BMW also seems to be selling really well. I feel like I see a lot of them, but I would say that that might be a vote in favor of the Lexus. One, it identifies you as a bit of a maverick or an independent thinker, so that's pretty cool. But also, I think that this is destined to become a bit of a unicorn. If we look at the example of the Lexus LFA, that was also kind of expensive, kind of dated by the time it was on sale as a new car. They didn't sell that many of them, and now they're averaging like $900,000. So for the people that did buy one, it was a great investment. I think this is also going to be pretty collectible in just a few years, and you're not gonna have to wait until then to enjoy it, because it does handle great, it's good looking, it's got an awesome sounding engine, it's really an all-around great package, and I would buy it if I had $100,000. Now I am off to update our Future Classics article, because we do have all kinds of buying advice here at CarGurus. Please check that out, but also subscribe to this channel and support my quest to bring you more videos on cars like this.